Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn the fourth chapter, Expansion of the Delhi Sultanate. So, in the last chapter or in the previous chapter, we have learned about the establishment, how it got started, and now in this chapter, we are going to learn how it got expanded the uh, under the leadership of uh, Alauddin Khilji, who was the Sultan of that time. So we are going to learn how he controlled all the officials and how they were facing problems and what did they do later on to overcome his control. So let's start. So after the death of Balban, he was the previous ruler. Jalaluddin Khilji became the Sultan of Delhi in 1290. And after he became Sultan, he wanted to make a very kind and a very freedom uh, full kingdom, a merciful rule or empire. But his own nephew, Alauddin Khilji, murdered him mercilessly a couple of years later, and he became the Sultan of Delhi. Then Gunjan, there is a conversation going on between students and teacher. The Gunjan asks, so from where do we get all this information? So teacher says, that's a good question. Tell me, how did we learn all about earlier kings like Harshvardhana and Ashoka? And then the dolly is giving the right answer from stone inscription, engravings on copper plates and coins, and from sometimes it is written script or the books written at that time. So all this information we are getting from all these things like stone inscriptions, which is written in the stones or some paintings or drawings over the walls or in the copper plates or in the coins. These are all the proofs or the evidence that we find or the history that we have to know about all these people. So through all these inscriptions, we get information about these kings or the rulers. Then, but we find inscription of only a few kings. So we have not recorded lot of inscriptions or a lot of records that we have information about all the kings or some natural calamity happened and everything was buried under the soil or flooded in the sea. So we don't know, but some of them we have found it. So we have information about them. So similarly, there are very few stones inscription about the Delhi Sultans. Fortunately, we do not have many details about this period. So about Delhi emperor or Delhi time when the king was ruling, we don't have much information, but a little bit information from coins that we have and the buildings that is still existing. And Sufi Saint also wrote so many books describing the life of the people during this era. So through her book also we have a little bit of information. So here we are learning about the person Alauddin Khilji. So from where do we get this information? So there are books written by the famous Persian poet Amir Khusro. So he has written in the book known historian Zayuddin. Barni has also written books titled Tariq Firoz Shahi, which tells us about the Alauddin Khilji. So we get informations of Alauddin Khilji in their books, which was written. So here we have some additional questions. Why it is difficult to get information about all the kings ruled in ancient times? Because that we have previously read that we don't have all the evidence because it got lost because it is long years, thousands and thousands years back, and it got drowned in the sea or it buried under the earth because of some natural flood or calamities. So the next question is the sultans did not leave many rock inscriptions. What do you think could be the reason? We know the sultans were very intelligent and they were very rude or they were crude in their own ideas. They don't want to share anything of their ruling system. So maybe they have destroyed the thing, or the other kings who wanted to defeat or to their attack the other kings, they might have destroyed their plans so that we are not finding any other clues or the evidence uh, of that time. So Alauddin Khilji, Alauddin became the Sultan of Delhi in 1296. So he murdered his nephew, then he became the Sultan. He was very ambitious and made his sultanate very strong. So he was very dedicated to his work, and he was very um, cruel maybe to others, and also he wanted to make a very strong defensive emperor, and he was very strict with all the officials and also the soldiers. Before he became the Sultan, he defeated the king of Devgiri and brought a lot of wealth from his kingdom. So he defeated Devgiri and he got a lot of golds and a lot of money. And what he did, he gave it to the armies to strengthen them, to make them strong, so that they can get more courage, financial support from him, so that they can come forward freely and work for him. And he also gave some to the amirs. Amirs are like leaders, so that they can be loyal. So in this way, he gradually brought most of the amirs. Me, he's attracted, or he through his intelligence, he brought lot of leaders through his side, and generally he controlled them. So he made rigid rules, means very strict rules, so that nobody can disobey him. He dealt severely with amirs who showed signs of disloyalty and appointed new amirs in their places. So those who were disobedient, he uh, resigned, or told them to leave their places or gave punishments, and he appointed new amirs, new leaders in their places. So he gave high position to Indian Muslims too. So then why did the amirs not revolt against him? Because he was imposing all the rules in a very strict way. So they were not free, they cannot talk, or they cannot keep their own ideas. So why they did not revolt against him? So Alauddin prohibited his armies from drinking alcohol, because most of the time when people are when they consume alcohol, they are in a mood to tell all the bad things about the person. So that he did not allow them to drink alcohol, so that nothing bad come from their mouth, or they could not discuss any bad about him. So celebrating festivals or holding lavish marriage and dinner parties. So he also did not allow all these parties, marriages, what were happening there. So he kept all this away from these leaders. So he believed that they use such occasions to conspire against him, so that they can fight against him, they can make plans to do some bad to him. So that's why he avoided these things from them. He his spies kept him informed about their activities, so none of them dared revolt against him. So he had a spy people who kept eye on them in their officials, in their, so that nobody can dare to uh, come against him. So here we have next question. How did Alauddin use the wealth he plundered from Devgiri? So we know he gave some to the soldiers and he gave some to the amirs, the leaders, so that they can be satisfied, so that they can work initiatively with him. So the next question, why did Alauddin not face any revolt from his armies? Because he was very strict with them, and he did not allow them to drink any alcohol or go to any marriage parties, so that people may not talk, or they may not talk any bad or plan against him. So also he kept a spy person, so that he can or keep an eye on them, so that nothing bad comes from them. So the next topic we'll learn tomorrow.